want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
It's just about that time again when I say good morning to you, Grenada, Caribbean, Copiti, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? That's a nice song in the background. Enjoy it. You can take a dance to this. Yeah.
Rescued me when Satan had me bound. Nobody.
Saying good morning to my brethren, Rhino. How you doing, Papi? You good? Yeah, long time no catch up, right? Hope you're okay, man. Saying good morning to Mary Ebanks, Lydia Cameron, good morning, Innocent, and my beautiful people in Grenada. Antonio Sandys Antoine says, Grenada, the beautiful, we count your blessings. Cameron Andrew says, good morning, my colleagues, them. Maxwell Belfon, good morning, Mr. Joseph. Sharon Bartholomew says, good morning. Good morning to each and every one of you. It's 26 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Hope you're having a wonderful morning thus far. That name that is being called in the song, you just use that, man, and you're in a place of victory already. My good friend out there in Stone Road in Westerhall, good morning to you. She works at Roberts Enterprise. I can't remember your name, but good morning to you. Good morning to all the management and staff at Roberts. Yeah, she says you're calling everybody name. Good morning, good morning. All right. Nice. Pastor Laurie and the congregation at the Westerhall New Testament Church of God, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to the family, the First Lady, and everybody, the family. Yeah. Good morning, man.
Nobody can take away my Lord.
Maxwell Belfon says, Mr. Joseph, your uncle taught me at the farm school. He was great. I think you were talking about Uncle Cosmos, right? Yeah, he was an exceptional guy. I know his soul is resting in perfect peace, man. He was a great guy. Nice. Good morning to the folks inside of Belial. Good morning. Good morning. The Maxwell family in there. Good morning, Auntie Ann. How they do? And the entire household. If I start to call the names this morning, I won't finish. So good morning to each and every one of you, right? Especially Chantel and the little bouncing little girl. Yeah. Good morning. Mommy Gwenny, good morning. How you doing, Mom? I miss the dry pea soup, you know. All right.
Nobody but him.
Nonetheless, folks, it's time to get with the program. Yeah, Cecil Cadet and family, good morning, bro. It's always important that I touch base with you.
No.
Yeah, Mr. Crawford Best and the team at the Country Kitchen, good morning. Yeah. Nonetheless, it's time for the word of the day, and the word today is an adjective. It's a describing word, right? And today that word is exigent. Exigent. It is spelled E-X-I-G-E-N-T. Exigent. And exigent is a formal word that describes things that need to be dealt with immediately, as well as people who expect significant time, attention, effort, etc. from other people. I know one such person. Good morning, and I know she's smiling her head off. Nice. Okay, here's how we can use that word in a sentence, okay? The warrantless search of the property was permitted because of exigent circumstances.
You can take all.
We can also say he struggled to satisfy the needs of the exigent client.
Nobody can take away my Lord. Nobody.
So you heard the word, right? Exigent.
My Lord.
A formal word that describes things that need to be dealt with immediately, urgently, like now, as well as people who expect significant time, attention, effort, etc. from other people, especially from the significant other. You know what I'm saying? You know this kind of people, right? Yeah, this kind of people. All right. So it's 23 minutes on to the hour of 7, and let us get to Nadisha's favorite part of the program, the thought of the day. And it says, never be a prisoner of your past. It's a lesson, not a life sentence. Yeah, I like this one. Never be a prisoner of your past. It's intended to be a lesson, not a life sentence. You know, that is a tough one because there are times I myself get myself caught in it, you know. Hadn't I done that, this would have been different. Had I done this, this would have been different. And you get caught in things that are already gone, and you forget to live in the now. All right, yesterday is gone. We can't do anything about that. I know that we all wish we could have gone back in time and make certain decisions differently. We'd have made different choices, but that's gone. We can't do that. We can't go back. You know, every morning by morning, new mercies I see. Every day is another opportunity to do it right. You understand what I'm saying? That's a trick from the pit of hell. That's a trick from the devil. You keep revisiting the past, and you spend so much time contemplating on what could have, and what should have, and what would have. You understand? But you have now. You understand what I'm saying? Nice. You want to hear some more of this? Come in the Westerhall Church on a Wednesday night, man, and learn these things. That is where we get interactive, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, come on in. You're in the area, come by. Even if you're by the shop lower down the road, just go and spend a few minutes, you know, and you get a little taste. And then you make your own decision, you know, but get exposed to the word. You understand what I'm saying? My brother John T, good morning, bro. And your mom and the family as a whole. Yep, all right. Buzzing this morning. The hunting season is open. Okay, I cannot overemphasize that because I don't want you to do it when it's not legal, when it's illegal. Okay, it's illegal now for you to hunt the manikou, the tattoo, the iguana, the rami, and the monkey. All right. You can hunt them legally now, but what is important is that while you're hunting them, if you're going to be hunting in other people's property, it's imperative that you seek their permission first, all right? Yeah, seek their permission first. Don't just barge into people's property and say, you know, I'm hunting. You can become the hunted too, right? So please be guided accordingly. Yeah, buzzing this morning. Right, I understand that a lifeless body was found in Beaton yesterday. I tried my best to get some more information because Beaton is like a second home to me. But I am yet to, I mean, I know it happened because the talks are wrong, but I'm yet to know who that person is. But whatever it is, I'll let the law, deal with what it has to deal with, okay? A fair day's pay for a fair day's work is what is expected. However, to prevent exploitation and factor in the rising cost of living, the establishment of minimum wage across various categories is necessary. But how do we justify a minimum, and is it livable with today's skyrocketing prices for basic commodities? Some people, however, are not happy about the minimum wage increase. Why? Well, that was dealt with last night on Beyond the Headlines. Yeah, that was dealt with last night. Good morning to you, Dr. Curlin Gilchrist. Yeah, that man bright, he brilliant, Yeah, he can articulate. Good morning, bro. How you doing? Yeah, and he has a very down-to-earth kind of approach, and that makes him so unique. Morning to you and your team, your workplace. Good morning, good morning. I'd like to reach out and say a special good morning to my dear friend, Miss Lydia Courtney Francis, your husband, the children, and then when you go to work, the extended family at work, all the folks in your department. Good morning to each and every one of you. Hope you all are doing fine. Grenlec. Yeah, Prudence and them, Miss Slocum and them. Saw Leslyn the other day. Leslyn, I don't know what we use in McDonald College, but we're not getting old, We're aging, but we're staying young. Morning, Lezo. And Leslie Barry. All right, so one source told a news outlet that there appears to be a gunshot wound to the body. Well, don't say we quoted that, all right? It appeared, all right? It's not confirmed. We await the official pronouncement by the RGPF. So indeed, and in fact, a body was found in Beaton. And I know, Grenada Police, they do their best. They are rating and they are ranking in terms of the solving of crime. So we will get to the bottom of this. I do hope that we have a police briefing or a press release later in the day, to tell us, what happened there. I also want to say good morning and extend condolences to the family of the youngster in Laura Land, the former prison officer. I can't remember his name. We socialize now and then, but oh my goodness. Death, when will that be? When that day will come, when we can say, death, oh death, where is your sting? Look forward to that. Let's quickly take a look at what's happening. Before I do that, though, we've got representative of the bar, two representatives from the Grenada Bar Association with us this morning as they prepare for the Sir Archibald NEDD lecture that's coming on, the annual lecture. It's coming on, okay? So we look forward to that. Yoland Swan says, blessings to you, Mr. Joseph, and good morning. Good morning to you, Yoland. Good morning to everyone in the Tri-Island state. Mr. Joseph, I would like you to tell Nawasa that we were out of water for a whole week. Please give us some water. The people of Upper St. John in St. Andrew need water. Of course, Mr. Cosmos was a good soul. Yeah, that's the best man I ever know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Good morning, Yoland. We at the St. Patrick lost a friend in Spaceman. Okay. Yeah, Spaceman was a good guy. Very, very good guy. Michelle Mishi Forsyth. Good morning, everyone. You're up Sean C or St. Vincent, or Sean C in St. Vincent, or you're down Grenada. You can't be in Grenada and don't touch base. You know that. All right. Touch base, all right? Cameron Andrew, yep, being a hustler, never to sit and wait for opportunity and thing. All right, that's good. Rest in heavenly peace, Adrian Mitchell, so says Maxwell Belfon. Judy Lewis says, good morning, all. Blessed day to all. Folks, we've got to take that break here now because we've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather coming up here on Classic. Those of you who are on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Stick and stay with us.
Hey, come closer. I I want to tell you something amazing.
I am Nexa. And when I say Nexa, I mean more than just another financial institution. We're a family. We're a community.
A community that listens and values your voice in every decision we make.
Big financial decisions can be daunting, but Nexa is a strong support system here to guide you every step of the way.
Nexa believes in empowerment, but you are never alone. We're with you wherever your road leads.
Whether it's owning my first home, educating my kids, or starting a business, Nexa is where I am following my dreams.
And here's the exciting part. You can be part of this incredible journey too. Just join today.
I am Nexa, and you can be too.
We're making it even better to be a Nexa member. Ask a friend who's already a member to refer you. Our members refer someone, and both of you can enjoy special rewards. It's a win-win. Call us at 440-1354. Visit us on our social media or our website for how to join.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. The Criminal Investigating Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force may have yet another gun-related death to solve after family members discovered the body of 49-year-old Elaine Dennis Bowen earlier today. One family member spoke to GBN off camera about the discovery at Beaton St. David.
Well, we did home Saturday night and we had 3 gunshots, but we thought it was usually almost every other night we go hear gunshot, but we didn't know what was transpiring. We didn't know what was what. So yesterday morning, I realized we didn't see him yesterday morning. It's not like him found out nobody don't see him when he around. So last night I had to make a few phone calls and find out if anybody see him. And everybody telling me no. So my son was telling me, Mommy, you go and look and see if you see him. In the 10 this morning, I tell him no, go and see if I see him for myself. But then the same time I see aunt, and I was telling the aunt, go and look and see if she see him for me. But she tell me, she ended up calling him out, and she gave him 2 calls and he didn't answer. So I tell her, I say, I'm going to come back. When I come back, I'll go and check and see if he there. But then while I there, where I was, my sister called me and tell me she'll go and check to see if he there for me. So I tell her okay, and then she come back and tell me he dead.
A family member told GBN the body was already in an advanced stage of decomposition when it was found inside the tent house he lived in. To her, he was a nice person.
Well, to me, he was a nice person. It's just that he had a little mental thing, But he was okay. When you see, if you don't take his medication, he has to take somebody wants to get medication and thing. If you don't take his medication and he's drinking and he's smoking, that just kind of chip him off. But other than that, he's an okay person. I don't know about people, but I'm a real dog.
Police have yet to make an official announcement regarding the country's latest homicide. However, an officer close to the investigation told GBN they suspect that Bowen's death might be gun-related, but it's too early to say. GBN was informed that the victim was recently released from His Majesty's prison. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you the more details as the information comes to hand. To date, 4 major gun-related incidents, including 2 homicides, remain unsolved. On behalf of the New National Party, opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell has extended deepest condolences to the family of former sports minister Adrian Mitchell, who transitioned Sunday.
Today we mourn the passing of a very good brother, a community man, a man who served this community, and not many of us can say that in our period of service that we spent our time caring about people.
Leader of Her Majesty's Opposition, Dr. Keith Mitchell, on the passing of former Minister of Youth, Sport and Community Development, Adrian Spaceman Mitchell. Mitchell passed away on Sunday at the General Hospital at the age of 71. The former Member of Parliament for St. Patrick East, Adrian Mitchell, served under the Keith Mitchell-led government for 11 years. Dr. Mitchell remembers the former Sports Minister as a man who lived a life of service to the people, both at home and in the diaspora. Dr. Mitchell's hope is for the life lived by Mr. Mitchell to be emulated by others in the political field.
We feel we have had a great loss in Adrian because of his service to the New National Party, but more specifically to the service of the people of St. Patrick East. Because I think it's well known Adrian was a person that was involved in community life, and sports, culture, and of course, all levels of community activities. And even when he was abroad in New York, he was involved with the Grenadian community in every sense. And when he returned home, he continued to participate in community activities.
The opposition leader remembered the New National Party's victory in 1995 and attributed that success to Mr. Mitchell's win in his seat. Dr. Mitchell recalled his last conversation with the former MP.
So a few weeks ago, I visited him a few weeks ago, and of course, we sat and spoke quite a bit, and of course, he shared a number of stories. And I realized the fact that he was sharing those stories meant to me that he recognized that things were not as good as he should be physically. And therefore, when I left him, I really realized that he was giving me a message. And 2 weeks ago, called me specifically and asked me a specific question. I would not repeat the question, but really he was saying to me that he doesn't think that he will be there much longer.
Speaking on behalf of the New National Party, the opposition leader extended deepest condolences to the family of the former sports minister. In his words, the legacy of Brother Adrian will live on in the hearts and lives of all who were fortunate enough to be touched by his work and spirit. Christina John, GBN News.
What was supposed to be a normal Saturday night for Ronnie McIntosh and his partner turned out to be a night of terror as their home at Cherry Hill was destroyed when a tree fell directly on it. Thankfully, they managed to escape with their lives. GBN visited the home of McIntosh, who recalled the incident that led to the destruction of his two-bedroom home.
Well, we was cooking yesterday about 8:30, 8:45, got reach up a little late. Yeah, and while I was sitting on the outside, well, I ended up going back inside on my phone and sit like in the drawing room pad. Yeah, and my girlfriend was in the room. Yeah, after I hear a heavy puff of wind come and just blow, and I hear some shingles fall on the roof. Yeah, from the tree, and I hear something crack it's like a big noise, crack, and it just come right on the house. Yeah, and she get trapped in the room, and I get trapped in the hall. Cause the tree divide the house in two. Yeah, so when I run for the front door to open, the front door jam. So I end up kicking on a piece of light that they get outside, and she crawled through a little space by the bath cause the wall come down in the room.
Ronnie said his girlfriend barely escaped with her life as she sustained injuries to her head and legs. He is also relieved that their children were not at home at the time as the massive tree fell exactly on the room they sleep in. He said he was only able to salvage some clothes from their home.
Flat screen, my laptop, well, bed, well, everything just demolished. You can see everything. All I save is a 2 pieces of clothes, you understand? If I'm out, you fall along, I pick up a 2 pieces of clothes on the ground, but they wet the soil up and that kind of thing. Get a knock by my mom, you understand? You kind of, I'm on and off, but you don't really have to say like it's an extra room, you understand? and enough bed and them kind of things. So.
NDC caretaker for St. George's Northwest, Senator Jonathan Lacret, along with the St. George Northwest Emergency Response Team and a demolition crew, visited the affected family on Sunday to assess the situation and render assistance. He assured the affected family that the necessary building materials would be secured for them so that upon cleaning the tree, they would immediately start the reconstruction of their home. On Monday, men were stationed at the home to remove the huge tree so the building process could begin.
Well, the guy just cut in at the moment, and we're doing like a cleanup afterwards. Some other people will come and take like the estimate to rebuild. Okay. And you can stay by my mom for the rest of the time, you understand? So they're seeking some assistance so we can get a place to stay as from today.
Okay. So Grenadians are reminded that the hurricane season is not yet through and the precautionary measures should still be taken to protect homes and livelihoods. Ronnie had this to say to people who have large trees over their homes.
Anybody who have big trees around the house, now I advise them that they cut it down because it's just distress, and just devastating people's place.
Landslides and fallen trees were just some of the incidents reported after moderate periods of rain over the weekend. Rena Pear-Thomas, GBN News.
All food handlers and vendors will be required to register in order to operate their business. That's according to Acting Chief Environmental Health Officer Kenneth Hazard during a special health update. The environmental officer said they're looking at enforcing the food safety legislation as a means of ensuring that what people consume is safe rather than a health risk.
We are seeking also to implement and enforce the food safety legislation. One of the new food safety legislation with the 2015 Food Safety Bill that we are seeking to implement and enforce in the coming year. And a major activity under that bill would be the registration of all food places. All food businesses would be required to register. In the interim, we are going to conduct a registration through the Ministry of Health. But as Minister would have spoken about earlier on the Food Safety Bill, we are seeking to have the regulations updated and passed so that there may be, I don't know what the government would do, that's for the administrators to do. There may be some fees with regard to the registration of food places. And so that's one of our main activities as we seek to also implement the global food safety strategy put out by the Pan American Health Organization.
As part of efforts to prevent foodborne illnesses, the Ministry of Health Environmental Division embarked on an island-wide inspection of all food handlers and vendors that will be required to register in order to operate their food business.
Intention is to prevent foodborne illnesses. We have seen some foodborne illnesses across the nation. In recent times, we have had outbreaks that we have had to investigate. And our aim is to reduce those food premises, those food outbreaks, and to ensure that our population has safe food as a result of safe food handling practices. So we are really calling on our food handlers to please be involved in the production of safe food and safe food practices.
The St. George Northeast Independence Committee is the first to announce plans to celebrate Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence within their community. The 7-member committee revealed their plans today and are seeking community member support in their execution. More in this report.
As Grenada starts to roll out plans to celebrate the island's 50th anniversary of independence, the St. George's Northeast Independence Committee says their community will not be left behind. The 7-member team is in the initial stage of planning an award ceremony and a dinner for individuals who made a significant contribution to their community. Derek James, chair of the committee, says the team was established in May of this year. He spoke of the plans that will be implemented in the constituency constituency at St. George Northeast to celebrate the occasion.
The first thing we did was to look at the question of two activities. One, the activities to recognize the people, and secondly, to have some sporting and cultural activities. Right now, we are concentrating on having the recognition activity, the recognition ceremony. It's scheduled for the 2nd of February 2024, and it will be held right here at Spice Basket. And we have decided to look at the areas of health, sports, community service, culture, agriculture, and business. We are going to decorate, we're going to do some decoration in the community to leading up to this activity. And we are hoping to have the broad community come here. It will be a free activity. It will not be of any cost to anyone.
Executive member of the committee, Dr. Sonia Nixon, explained that candidates from the awards ceremony will be recognized in 7 categories. This will be done through subcommittees set up in different villages that will receive nominations from community members.
In this 50th year, we're going to recognize 50 people to start with, 50 people who have done yeoman's tasks in ensuring that Grenada has maintained and has grown, maintained its status and has grown even further in the last 50 years. So far on 7 areas: health, education, agriculture, culture, sports, community development, and business, that we're going to recognize people from the area and what they have, who have made significant contributions to Grenada as a whole.
Hugh Darlan, another executive member of the committee, stated that they will be seeking the help of businesses in the community to raise funds for the events planned.
On the whole question of sponsorship, obviously this is a pretty costly exercise. We are hopeful that we are going to get some support from the government in helping us to make this a reality. However, we also intend to contact a number of our businesses who are from the Northeast. We are of the view that this is a Northeast event, and I think we have enough businesses from the Northeast that can really and truly carry the financial load in order to make it happen.
The committee members were speaking at a press conference on Monday morning. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
A commemorative website is being launched for Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence celebrations. The National Organizing Committee says the newly unveiled website, launched on Sunday, is a digital hub designed to provide information on all things related to the celebrations. Features include an interactive calendar with the schedule of events planned to commemorate the historic occasion. Key elements of the independence celebrations, such as the logo and the theme song, are shared to allow ready and repeated inclusion in the spirit and pride and unity that the celebration intends to bring. Access is in mind, so they have ensured that the site can facilitate engagement with partners and sponsors, vendors and volunteers, and provides users with the most current news and updates. As part of the celebrations, citizens and well-wishers are encouraged to actively engage with the website. Social media integration will enable the global community to connect and celebrate together, fostering a sense of unity and pride. To explore the website and join in the 50th Independence Anniversary festivities, visit www.grenadaturns50.gd. Grenada will be joining the rest of the world this week to celebrate International Men's Day. 5 days of activities are planned to advocate that men matter too. More in this report.
This year, Grenada will host the first ever International Men's Regional Conference under the theme Men Matters, Embrace, Empower, Elevated from Positive Transformation. This is one of the many activities scheduled to celebrate men in Grenada as the country joins in the observance of International Men's Day on November 19th. Organized by the Ministry of Social Development in collaboration with other stakeholders, the event will be held from November 15th to the 19th 19th. The observance of International Men's Day seeks to highlight the positive value men bring to the world, their families and communities. Anderson Richardson, attached to the Ministry of Social Development, says over 5 Caribbean countries will be represented at the conference, which will focus solely on men.
In terms of the conference that will be held on the 16th of November, that will be the Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. In terms of some of the topics, we have things like men and mental health, which we think is critical. We're looking at challenging the emasculation agenda, men's health, those kind of things, men in crisis, those kind of topics in terms of the conference, right? Boys in ICT, those kind of things we want to look at our conference.
All activities carded for the 5-day celebration will be free of cost, said Richardson. He spoke of other events scheduled.
Friday, that's Friday the 17th of November. From let's say that starts from 8 o'clock to 11:30. We're going to be having a businessman talk, and that will be taking place at Radisson at the St. Andrew Room.
All right.
Now, this is an initiative where we'll be bringing in businessmen that can tell a story as to how they succeed over the years. That will be for the first half of the day. Addition to that, on the same day, from let's say about 1:15 p.m., we will have what we call our International Men's Day outreach activity.
All right.
And that activity is focused on touching base or interacting with institutions where our men and our boys are. Examples, some of those are His Majesty's Prison.
An island-wide motorcade will be held on November 18th, during which participants will stop at specific locations across to meet and greet with men and boys in the area. The activities will climax with an award ceremony, cultural presentation, and dinner. International Men's Day Ambassador Michael Stewart said over the years, men have been pushed to the sidelines.
When you look at whenever something affects women, it is highly impacted and recognized. But when it affects men, it is trivialized or marginalized more or less. And one of the things that I keep having to point out and making a call in the case of the United Nations is that the United Nations has 216 recognized international days. 10 of those go to women and girls. None of those went to boys or men. So when we talk about men matter, we are talking from a very high level and institutional level. In fact, November 19th, when we will be celebrating as International Men's Day, is carded on the United Nations calendar as World Toilet Day. That's why we are saying we need to be able to recognize that we matter. In the courts, we need to matter also.
Stewart was speaking on GBN's Good Morning program with host GT. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Canadians are very familiar with guava. However, how many of you are familiar with Egyptian guava? That's what sits at the end of the GBN ISOL lens tonight.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOL is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Genevieve Bartholomew, a grade 5 student of St. Andrew's RC School, said many will say her submission for tonight's GBN ISA is a pear based on its outer appearance. However, it is not. Featured is a photograph of a yellow Egyptian guava. It is said to be rich in vitamin C, carbohydrates, proteins, calcium, phosphorus, vitamin A, pantothenic acid, riboflavin, and thiamine. The Egyptian guava is widely cultivated in tropical and subtropical regions across the world. The plant is used in many different shampoo products for its scent. We thank Jenny for that submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
A Touch of Class, presented by Regan Mendez and friends. The music, the magic, a full choir together with musicians, singers, dancers, and band, presenting a classical treat at the Gateway Center, Point Salim, on November the 19th at 7:30 p.m. A Touch of Class awaits you. Indulge in the classics from Carmen, Phantom of the Opera, and more. A musical evening filled with passion and excitement. A Touch of Class. Tickets are available at Coatefet and Grenadian Optical for only $75. A Touch of Class.
Bring out the ham, bring out the lights, share the joy. It's time for Carols by Candlelight, the Rotary Club of Grenada's annual family fundraiser event on Sunday, 3rd December 2023 at Quarantine Point Recreational Park. Featuring 3 grand concerts with top artists and performers, including appearance from international guest artist Marcia Miranda. See the enchanting Monica Benoit Christmas Park. 1,000 gifts giveaway for the kids. Santa, local and international foods, wine lounge, fully stocked bar and kids lunch, family movies, holiday boutique store, fireworks display, and so much more. Get your tickets now. $10 for children, $45 regular, and more at the door. Tickets are available online at GoToFed.com, Grenadian Optical St. George, and Spiceland Mall, Gittins Drug Mart, or from any Rotarian. Get ready for Carols by Candlelight, Sunday, 3rd December, 4 p.m. until midnight. Follow on Facebook and Instagram for updates.
The Eye Candy event starts now at Quartz Optical. Get new deals every week. Affordable and stylish eyewear to suit your fashionable style. Get that frame today with no cash and pay absolutely nothing for 90 days. Shop and save on the biggest discounts this month on www.quartzoptical.com. It's easy and convenient. Treat yourself to some eye candy. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Special conditions apply. Offer valid 1st through 21st November 2023.
With ever-rising energy costs, Southern Electrical can provide you with affordable, complete solar systems for your home or business. Reduce your utility bill to zero. Have power independence. Go green by harnessing the free energy that sunlight provides in our warm, sunny, tropical climate. We supply off-grid solar systems which are great for remote areas without utility power, as well as grid-tied and hybrid systems. We can customize your system to your needs, ranging from 1.5 kilowatts to 1 megawatt systems. Start saving today so that you can have extra money to go on family vacations, do home renovations, or further invest in renewable energy to generate electricity for income.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Thompson, co-owner and founder of Grenada Tours, Taxi and Rental. We provide transportation tours in the field of tourism. Being in the field of tourism, the pandemic have taught us that we need all the help we can get, which the NIF has been very helpful in doing so. But as a small business owner, we are even more excited right now with the new initiative that the NIF have launched, providing a little bit more flexibility for small businesses like ourselves. So we definitely encourage all of the small business to consider getting on board with the NIF and the new initiative that allows the level of flexibility that they have implemented.
Climate Reality Key Takeaways is made possible by Republic Bank.
I would like to say climate change is running faster than we are. So we definitely need to borrow from the words from Honorable Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados. So we definitely need to pick up pace and we need to pick up scope in going forward. And climate change is really challenging to us. And in order for us to address the challenges, finance is key, finance is available. So let's take on a whole of society approach to access the finance. Communities, NGOs, private sector, and government, let's all do our part to ensure that we create a greener space for sustainable Grenada.
But I would want to leave you here, though, to communities. Please contact the Jeff Small Grants Program. The email address gefsgp@grenada@gmail.com. You can call the telephone number, cell number 416-1425, or you can call the landline 435-7445. Call the Grenada, the Jeff Small Grants Program, call the GDB and the other institutions that are on the front line for climate action in Grenada. Do your part in making Grenada more resilient.
Climate change is real. We must act now.
Welcome viewers and listeners. It's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock and it's time for the conversation. As I told you earlier on this morning, I do have guests with me in the studio. Normally it's usually my good friend, but he shied away from me this morning. The Honorable Derek Sylvester. You know that name? Of course. All right, morning bro. However, this morning I am joined by Miss Donnika Maxwell and Mr. Kadeem Strachan. They are here this morning to speak on the Sir Archibald NEDD annual law lecture. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, you all sung, real harmonious.
We try.
You all should do a song together for Christmas.
We might. You never know.
Let the Bar Association do a Christmas presentation. As a matter of fact, do you think Carl's by Candlelight? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Derek will sing alto. Archie will do the bass.
I'll let them know.
Right, good. Nonetheless, folks, the Sir Archibald NEDD lecture series, it's an annual thing. And for the folks, my followers, they will have an understanding and an appreciation for it already. But every day we get new listeners and viewers. So just give us a backdrop as to what is that lecture all about and what it entails and so forth.
Right. So it's an initiative of the Bar Association. It's done in the name of the late Sir Archibald NEDD. He was a former Chief Justice of Grenada, former AG as well, and a former island scholar, right? Yeah. So prominent member of the legal profession in Grenada. And the lecture essentially, it aims to focus on topics of national interest, public interest, and hot button issues emerging. And also it has a legal undertone, so it's sort of a public legal education forum as well. So every year the Bar Association invites a speaker to deliver on a particular topic of public interest, so as to edify the public, so that they're able to have discussions relative to certain issues that are emerging in our society, both locally and regionally. So this year is no different, and this year the topic that we've selected this year is reparations, republicanism, and the rule of law. What next after 50 years of independence? Reparations, republicanism, and the rule of law, right?
The 3 R's, boy. That's the 3 R's. That's the 3 R's, yeah. I like the first one and the last one. The one in the middle, every time I hear about republicanism, Donald Trump comes to me. It sounds sort of, close it borders with insanity.
Well, this year the featured speaker is the Honorable Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, and I do believe that he will. I'm sorry. I do believe that the topic is fitting. It would generate public discussion, just as you said, especially on the issue of republicanism 50 years into independence. So this is the 19th year of the lecture, which first started in 1996. As my colleague said, it's the longest running lecture series by a bar association in the Commonwealth. So it will generate, as we've already started discussion on the topic. Yes.
Okay. So the concept of this Archibald NEDD lecture, I mean, I like its origins, where it came from, a very prominent figure. For folks who don't know, is he alive or dead?
No, he's deceased.
He's deceased in 2014.
Yes. Right. But what I know for a fact is that the information that is disseminated from that lecture, it's solid. And for people, especially folks in the media like myself and people who are just bent on knowing things, it's very deep, it's very substantive, and so forth. So this year, who will be besides the Honorable Prime Minister, are there any other sub-speakers also?
So no, generally it's just a feature speaker. So last year we actually had the distinct pleasure of having the Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court.
What's her name again?
That's Dame Janice Pereira. She delivered the lecture last year. In the past we've had Justice Adrian Saunders. He's a judge sitting on the CCJ. We've had jurists from throughout the region. So it's a lecture series that attracts very prominent individuals who will deliver the actual address. And based on the theme this year, we thought, well, who more fitting, particularly with the independence aspect of the theme, rather, to deliver the lecture than the Prime Minister himself. I mean, I think sometimes people forget as well that for 20 or so years he was a practicing attorney, right?
Well, I mean, I always say, once a teacher, always a teacher. Once a policeman, always a policeman. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer.
Yes, true.
It's well embedded in your DNA. The other chromosome changed. So it's there. So in as much as he might want to step aside, but even you look at him speak and his deliberations, his hand movements and so forth, he still feels in court. So
but an important aspect is that the lecture is not just for lawyers, it's for everyone. Everyone can come and you can understand. The speakers don't generally try to speak legalese where the average person can't understand. Anyone can come to the lecture and they can sit and they can follow. Last year they also allowed questions from the public. You can also ask questions to the featured speakers. So it's an interactive lecture for the Grenadian public, for the public in general. Because is it being live streamed this year?
I'm not certain.
I'm not sure,
who will
but
be live streaming it.
It was live streamed
last year.
Yeah, so it's for everyone.
Well, Mr. Sylvester will send me that.
Of course, definitely.
We'll have it sorted out. Now, the theme, though, I like the theme. Reparations, republicanism, and
the rule of law.
Just give us a sort of forerunner into what angle you think will be taken as it relates to the reparation. Is it a case where we are going to demand from His Majesty, listen, we want our grandfather back pay? Are we going to take that approach?
So I think well, that's left to be seen, and that's why you need to come to the lecture to see the spin that Mr. Mitchell puts on the topic. But I think largely the aim is to generate discussion as to the feasibility of doing these things and how we need to go about it, because it's all fine and well to say, yes, we need to get reparations and so on, but there's a methodology behind it as well. Yes, it might be important for us to resolve the legacy of slavery in the Caribbean and to probably, put a bandage on that, because of course it's not like it can be erased. Right. But then also we need to think about how it is that we regulate the reparations that we receive, if we do receive them, how it is that we go about that, what that means in terms of who actually receives that money. Is it the state itself? Is it descendants of persons whose families were enslaved, and so on? So there's that discussion there. Similarly with republicanism, I mean, I know you mentioned Trump and
yes, but Barbados just became a republic as well. So it is a topic that should generate discussion among
So there's that larger discussion as to whether after 50 years, that is a transition that we should make.
Yes.
But having touched that, for edification purposes, I mean, you're a learned counsel, so you might be able to rearrange some of our ignorances as it relates to that. What's the difference to our system of governance now to that of becoming a republic?
So now what we have is our governmental structure is based on the monarchy. So if you recognize, our head of state is the Governor General, who is essentially a representative of the monarch, right? A lot of our titles and so on, and even in the legal profession, you have King's Counsel and so on. So there are all these vestiges of the monarchy which still exist, and
even after independence.
Exactly. Yes. Even in
is that actually making sense?
That's the question.
That's the discussion, because there's one school of thought that would say that the existence of these offices and so on, it's more so ceremonial, in that they don't exactly still have the force that the British monarch themselves would have had when they were in charge of Grenada when we were a colony. Right. But at the same time, if that is the case, then why have it at all? So there's this larger discussion as to whether or not we need to transition fully from that, and instead, as opposed to having a Governor General, have a president, as opposed to having all of these titles linked to the monarch, having our own indigenous titles developed. So it's all about, I guess, taking greater control of our own destiny and branching and charting the way forward as to what we would like to see for our own country.
As one of my listeners, now I know his fingers are itching to call because he keeps, I mean, it takes us 50 years after independence to realize that, but Barbados, on the other hand, they were forward thinking, because right here we have, it's His Majesty's prison in Barbados. I know Glenderry.
Yes.
Yeah, so no H.
Well, Barbados had to go through a transition, and still in the transition period in terms of redoing the constitution. You have to look into, because the whole concept of being a colony, moving from being a colony now to your own fully independent. Well, you're independent, but still carrying as my colleague said, carrying the vestiges of your prior colonizer, in essence. So there is a process. You look at, we had the Royal Barbados Police Force. You have to change that name. It's several things that have to change, and it's so ingrained in society that sometimes the public does not see the importance of moving past a particular point, because it's what they're accustomed to. They're accustomed to, the king, no. The king. But instead of seeing, instead of the Governor General, you have your President of Grenada. You don't, I shouldn't say you don't. Let me not say that. But it's an important discussion to have, to move the mindset of the public from the old colonial past to the new Grenada.
To our real independence path. We have a caller. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Mr. Joseph, and greetings to your guest.
Greetings, citizen.
I reckon that you knew I would call one.
Of course.
Yes, I'll tell you what, Mr. Joseph, there is a Spanish saying that goes like this: El que vence, percibe. He who perseveres overcomes. Listen, Mr. Joseph, I'm happy today, after 50 years, the truth is coming out, and to hear it from these people, the legal luminaries, the young ones. We have been duped for 50 years, making us believe we're independent. I'm happy that they want, but you see the twist in it. The truth is, and it just came up a while ago as I end here, isn't that making sense? When she explained that we independent Indian, but yet we carry the vestiges of colonialism and ruled by a king. But I always say, whatever in the dark has to come to the light. Thank God the time has come in, and Grenadians will understand how evil and deceitful these agents of colonialism have been over the past 50 years, hiding the truth from their people. I shall never give up. Have a nice day, William, Mr. Joseph, sir, and your guest.
Thank you very much, caller. I just knew that.
Well, I hope he's at the lecture. I really hope he attends the lecture.
He most definitely will be there if he can. All right, we do have another caller. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller.
Morning, morning to your esteemed guest.
Welcome to the program.
When we're talking about independence, we need to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. Independence from what? And from whom? And is it the other way around? Is it that the other people are dependent on us for us for the relationship to continue, and that we should flip it? When I consider that around 1994, when the Honorable late George Mason was sworn in as Prime Minister, and he swore to the Queen, on this very, very radio station, I took issue with this. And the then a person who was the presenter of the Point Show ridiculed me. Grenada is a Commonwealth country and all kind of things. So even the people who influence us on a daily basis have confused us and misdirect us. Even when the question of the language, Tanzania, when Tanzania became independent, one of the things that Julius Nyerere did was to find a language that wasn't English to unify the people because of the different groups in Tanzania. We continue to glorify the English language as our mother language, mother tongue. This is an imposition. We need to also look at that when we dealing with the Constitution. And some people think that we should ignore that one because it sounds good in some people's mouth. All right, I'll stop here.
Thank you, caller. All right, so
it's generating discussion.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. So it's reparations, republicanism, and the rule of law. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As the first caller alluded, you all are very young. Well, apparently. Because I too am very young. Yes.
Yeah, you're young together.
Is it young evident?
People.
Yes.
It's evident, right. The rule of law and the rule of lawyers. Why the profession of lawyer?
That's a personal question?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm seeing quite a number of young, youthful people getting admitted to the bar. Yeah. What's up there?
I'll let you take that first.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So, I think it's different for everyone, of course. Everyone would have their own individual reason as to why they chose to venture into the profession. For me, it actually started off quite innocently. It was just my love for books, and I found myself reading legal thrillers often and becoming intrigued with the profession. And then at TAMCC, then I went on to actually delve into studying the study of law, and from there, I guess, seeing how much law underpins everything, because in every aspect of society, whether we want to accept it or not, there's an underpinning of law, right? Regardless as to what you do, there are rules governing what it is that you do. There are systems regulating what it is that you do. And I felt like it's one of those professions where, in addition to being able to advocate for individuals, you're also able to influence real change. Because you are a part of a profession that touches and concerns several other professions, right? So that pretty much is what steered me in that direction, and thankfully, thus far, the experience has been a fulfilling one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I'm similar to my colleague. I would have realized early on, me and math don't really align. I like books. I like to read. So I said, okay, well, we do languages or we do law, and I started to do law in sixth form. And I said, oh well, I like this is interesting for me because the law develops so much. It's not like math where 2 and 2 is 4. I know the math people will probably, but it's constantly evolving. Every day there's a new case. The law may change depending on what happens in Parliament. It's a constant flow. There's always something new to learn. You're learning constantly. You don't know everything. Some people think you know everything, but you're learning and you're learning. Even whether you're junior or senior, you're continuously learning. There's always some new area. A client may come with a very niche thing that you've never seen before. So for me, that's why I got into law, because it was intriguing to me. It made me think. You have to consider all aspects, all avenues. It's a very interesting thing to do, and I think that's perhaps why you're seeing a lot of younger people come into the profession as well, because it's interesting.
It's challenging.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I was always intrigued with the legal profession and some of the vernacular around it. You know, for the life of me, I couldn't get to understand what was Roe v. Wade. It's only when I did my research I realized it was 2 cases. One case,
yes.
Two opposite parties.
Wade. Yeah. So I was wondering who is Roe v. You know, and then when I did my research, I get to realize it was Roe versus Wade. But you know, it's very interesting when I see young people like yourself get into, you know, a profession that you're passionate about, and you're doing what it takes to excel at it. I mean, time and space are the only 2 requisites that you need, and with time it will happen, you know, and we need more young people like you to come forth, and because we have a generation out there that seems to be lost, and I wouldn't say lost, they're caught in the crossroads, not knowing, like my learned friend here.
Yes.
So you're using the language now.
Yes.
Of course. My learned friend here, she did not have a proclivity to math. Right? So she chose something else.
I still don't.
But you know, some of the youngsters out there, they are caught not knowing what to choose from, and oftentimes they choose some of the undesirables. So I think it's important that, you know, young professionals like yourself, you know, be more out there, you know, sensitizing the youth, you know, encouraging them, because I am of the opinion that all is not lost. You know?
No, certainly not.
There's always a chance to turn around.
Yeah, and I think with credit to my generation, I think that a lot of important conversations are taking place among, you know, younger folk, and I think that there are lots of things that necessarily weren't spoken about before that are being spoken about now, and it's also about giving young people the platform to be able to say what it is that they feel and speak on certain issues without feeling undermined or feeling like their voice doesn't matter because of their age. So in as much as well, it's always important to encourage for young people to encourage other young people to pursue, you know, the proper path in terms of choosing to do things that are right, impactful, you know, moral. There's also a responsibility as well on the generation before us to encourage and to provide that space, that seat at the table where young people can actually have that voice and create the change that they actually want to see as well. So I think it's twofold in terms of, you know, treating with young people coming forward and doing what it is that they're destined to do.
Yes. And we're not saying that the older generation doesn't have a place. They have the wisdom, they have the experience, but it should be a joint it should be a joint partnership where everyone can have a discussion, say their views, and find a way forward.
Okay, I would love for us to go on with this for the rest of the morning, but because we can, but we can't.
Yes.
All right? We can. So I'd like us to just zero in back on, you know, letting the public know when, where, location, time, and so forth for the Sir Archibald NEDD lecture.
Right. So the 19th Sir Archibald NEDD Memorial Lecture takes place on the 22nd of this month, 22nd of November, at the Grenada Trade Center at 6:30 p.m. We're asking that attendees try to be seated by 6. And of course, the featured speaker, the person delivering the address, would be none other than the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Dickon Mitchell. The topic, reparations, republicanism, and the rule of law. What next after 50 years of independence? The public particularly is invited.
Yes.
They don't have to think it's a thing for lawyers,
Yes.
it's really for the
everyone.
public.
Yes.
Right? And so we're hoping to see everyone present there, and hopefully a meaningful discussion can take place, and people would have the opportunity, of course, to ask questions so that we can have that larger conversation, particularly considering that we're about to celebrate our 50th anniversary of independence.
Yes. Well, my colleague covered everything.
you must give us some closing remarks.
Well, the closing remarks, we look forward to having everyone there, the young, the old, the in-between, to come and have this discussion with the Grenada Bar Association, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Short and sweet.
Yes.
And to the point.
Yes.
Okay. All right, folks, I have been speaking there with 2 representatives from the Grenada Bar Association, my learned friends Donnika Maxwell and Mr. Kadeem Strachan.
Yes.
And they're inviting us all to be a part of the Sir Archibald NEDD, the 19th annual Sir Archibald NEDD lecture. It's happening on the 22nd of November at the Grenada Trade Center. It starts at 6 p.m. 6:30, but you're expected to be seated by 6 p.m. and it's an opportunity to go in and learn a lot of things that you did not know. The topic this year is reparations, republicanism, and the rule of law after 50. Thank you, lady and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
We look forward to future engagements. All right?
All right. Take care.
Okay. Folks, we take a break. We'll be back after this. Don't you go anywhere.
Hi, good day. My name is Kyle Sylvester. I am the manager and founder of Case Farming Enterprise. We're an agro-processing business that are involved in the processing of agricultural goods, where we do bottle seasoning packs, lettuce, kale, and broccoli. Sometimes we as human beings get sick or injured on the job. NS provides a safety net for us. I am here to encourage other entrepreneurs and self-employed persons to sign up under the NIS Self-Employment Program.
You want to get an insight into your life? Are you willing to find astrological solutions? Master Shivrudra, the world's best psychic and spiritual healer with competency in other services too. He has guided many people who are going through a situation to find solutions to their problems and use astrological remedies for positivity. He provides services to get your ex-love back, negative energy removal, family problem solutions, health problem, and many more.
He located at Grenada STT, Georges. Call him or WhatsApp +1 for 735375939.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live. Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11, K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
All right, welcome back. It's 17 minutes on to the 8 o'clock, and we do have a window of opportunity for a conversation. And just want to, open the lines so that you can talk this morning. One of the concerns I know that will be raised is that that issue with the PURC and Grenada and the bills, but again, I will not initiate it because I don't think we have enough time to delve deep enough. So I'll just open the lines that you can raise any concerns. Good morning, caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, who's Mr. Joseph?
Yes, good morning, welcome.
Morning, look, I depend on you every morning for what day it is and what date, and this morning you didn't give it, because my watch stopped. Every morning I could depend on you for what day it is.
Oh my
and
goodness.
What date it is.
But I did say it, maybe you missed it. I said it.
You sure? Because I lie down, got the thing there on the TV to make sure I will be awake.
No, man. Well, that's how I sign on. Good morning. Welcome. It's to Good Morning Grenada for today, Tuesday, the 14th day of November, 2023.
Oh, you get it now today. You see, and I had it wrong. I got it as the 13th.
No, today.
Today is what, the 14th?
Yes, it's Tuesday, the 14th.
Tuesday, the 14th. Yes. All right. Because every morning I am on you. Every morning.
Okay, well, thanks.
Here, I was to ask you a question. You like this guitar music?
Yeah.
It's Spanish. You ever heard of the Los Innos Tabajaras?
I passed. I scanned through it, but I never paid much attention to it.
I had a CD with them, and it was stolen by a thief a few years ago. There's two fellas that took the two guitars out of a rubbish heap, and they self-tutored themselves and became so popular.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were their nationalities?
I think they were Mexicans.
Okay.
I think they were Mexicans, but I had a 33.3. In those days, you get these big records.
Yes.
But it was stolen. But they play some beautiful music.
Okay.
I said if I had the damn thing, I would get a copy and send it to you.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, have a good day. And today's the 14th. All right.
Yes. Thanks,
all right.
Thanks.
Good. Have a good one. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh my goodness, he listens to me for the day of the week. This one is a cracker, man. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I was listening to your guest speak, and you asked both of them what got them into the law. And one said they like books. The other one said she liked to read, and so it seemed like a thing to do. No one mentioned helping people. No one mentioned the love of bringing the law and the rights of people and showing them what their rights are. That is what lawyering is about. The humanitarian part of it. We are lacking that in Grenada. The lawyers in Grenada, they are all about, I'm a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, I'm a lawyer. We need more pro bono lawyers. Look at the news every night and look for situations and circumstances where you can reach out to people in the news and say, I'm a lawyer, I can help you. We are not seeing that. So I think we need to have more of the humanitarian aspect as a reason why people are going into law. Secondly, I think the idea of using the Prime Minister as a speaker this year is a terrible idea. We need to compartmentalize roles. He is visible, he is speaking too much, he is being seen everywhere, and his credibility is diminished. He cannot be in everything. Yes, he's been a lawyer for 20 years. Is he a historian? Is he a constitutional professional lawyer. He was simply a lawyer for 20 years. That does not make him special for that speech. And I think the bar should have chosen somebody else. Leave him alone. He's being seen too much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. These points to ponder on. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Yes, as long as you live, there'll always be things that intrigue you. When we had another individual always in your face, nobody said anything about that. Even more in your face. Remember those regular address to the nation which nobody listened to? But my take this morning is that one of the things we need to understand is that the law really, as Kennedy said in 1962, seems not in favor of the ordinary man. Because it seems the law is always taken away from the ordinary man. The law, again, as Lord Acton says, is meant for the powerful to subdue the powerless. So we need to rethink about this whole thing about law, and maybe we turn to a more, to use the previous scholars' terminology, humane aspect of law. And I would say, rather than focus on these Romanic, Greco-Romanic, or even Greek, Romano, Romano-Greek law is a return to the law where people create the rules, conflict resolution, where William Ury, that famous conflict expert, says that there's a group in Africa that is very admired, with that group of tribe, I don't like to use the word tribe, there's almost no violence in that group. Because one of the things is done from beginning of these people's life is to teach them how to resolve conflict. And even if they can't resolve the conflict, that they call on the peers, and if they can't deal with the peers, they call on the elders. And also one aspect is sharing, which will complement what the previous scholar said about helping people. Sharing, so that people never feel that, that things are exclusively theirs, even though they may have stewardship over things. So we need to find a different way, especially as we're going into the 50th anniversary of independence, as we say. And independence from who? It means that the whole concept of even independence has to be relooked.
Okay.
Is it that we became independent of somebody who became dependent on us in terms of ripping up the resources and exploiting the labor of our people? These are concepts we need to look at. But certainly I would say one of the things in relation to law, we need to help people to resolve conflict at the local level. Too many things end up in that system called law, which is really a game.
Okay.
Actually a game. And if you have enough money, you could always manipulate the system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. All right, it's 8 minutes on to the 8 o'clock hour. Someone on our WhatsApp platform says, good morning, Innocent. Good morning to your guests. Will the lecture be streamed live? If so, could the link be shared? All right, Mr. Sylvester, you heard the cry. Please notify me so that I can make the announcement accordingly. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Just a little observation I have. I want to, tell or make a statement to some of the people who sell fruits and vegetables and whatnot. If you pick the fruit and you're going to sell it to a supermarket or you sell it to the local or anyone at all, why not wash it first? I went to a supermarket and I bought some golden apples. And they have it in this mesh thing. And when you take it out of it, the golden apples is just as it come from the tree, all the residue on it. You put it under the pipe and you use one of them to come, and if you see the amount of stuff that come from it, I believe the people who picking golden apples to sell to the general public and the supermarkets who buying them should ensure that these people make sure that the golden apples or the fruits in general should be clean, or otherwise they clean them themselves. And I think this is something that, people just buy things or come and sell things and they don't clean it before they sell it. And I believe that's something needs to be addressed. It's unfortunate, that this is something that is going on. When you have your stuff, you make sure it's clean, you bag it, and then you come and sell it to the general public.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. 6 minutes away from 8 o'clock. That is our time. Let's head back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, well, I just want to go on a little creativity side. What happened? I just do something there, and I said I must mention it. Way down in the 70s, right? I used to walk along with Mr. John Rollo, and the things that he was doing. Then I turned to myself and I said, I'm going to try to do something. And I adopt lawnmower engine onto a bicycle and put the chain onto the big moon, onto the shaft, and get it going and working it. And somewhere down in 2001 or something, I was in Springs and I heard something going boop, 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 boop. When I look, I see the same thing that I tried, I did happening. Now, there's so many good creative people in Grenada. There's a guy that make a machine for me, right, to grind coconut. And this guy take this thing, a motor from a fridge, a belt and thing, and wrap this thing and make this thing so nice out of waste materials. And it's working so good. I said I'd have to mention that. And to do that process, I used to have to do that in 9 hours. What they used to do in 9 hours now are doing it in 4 hours.
Wow.
And these people are this is a guy way up in St. David's. I think they call him Nutsman. That is another
That's my partner. That's my partner. Nutsman, good morning, bro.
A simple machine out of scraps.
Yeah.
And and using current, everything, and he gave me warranty on it too,
And he has all kinds of machines. I think he has some that grates the coconuts.
That I have.
Yeah, good morning, bro.
The only thing I want now to see is if you could make something to press, to squeeze it.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, caller. Blessings. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Yeah, good. Nutsman, good morning. Folks, we take a final commercial break and we come back with the wrap.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
It is important to know what your road signs and markings means. The zigzag lines means you should not park in the marked area. Parking is allowed inside the solid white lines on the edge of the road. Remember, look out for pedestrians. Pedestrians, be sure the vehicle comes to a complete stop before crossing. These tips can save your life. These tips can make our roads safer for all users. Be safe, be seen, be smart. A message from the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
On this episode of Caribbean Passport TV, we travel to St. Kitts and Nevis, visit a cocoa estate in Trinidad and Tobago, and listen to some steel pan music. And then we'll wind down with some paintings, right here on this station.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. The final few seconds. Let's take this call quickly. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent. How are you doing today,
I'm good. Welcome.
Listen, I have a question. It's a burning question been in my heart for a long time. Do you have any regulation or law concerning all these boats on the Caribbean? Like all these boats along the whole Caribbean when you go and drive and through. We hide the beauty of the Caribbean. Can we do something about all boats, like all where the library used to be? The whole area is just boats. What can we do about that?
That's a good question. All right, maybe we can raise that topic sometime later in the week and hear what happens.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, caller. All right, folks, with that, we end the program this morning. Those of you who called and participated, thank you very much for your contributions one way or the other. I'd like to say once again a special thank you to Ms. Donnika Maxwell and Mr. Kadeem Strachan for enlightening us on the 19th annual Sir Archibald NEDD lecture, which comes up on the 22nd of this month at the Grenada Trade Center at 6:30 p.m. I will solicit the information as to whether it will be streamed live and share that with you at the earliest convenience. But have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye. I love you.